Hello everybody, it's me, Riffraff Hornhelm, and I'm back again with another presentation from the Dwarven Vault. And today we have a monster review. And today we're going to take a look at the infamous HELLHOUND. Great name, right? Now, this is the HELLHOUND as it is appearing in the original monster manual for use with basic Dungeons and Dragons and advanced Dungeons and Dragons, or what's typically known as 1E today. So, the HELLHOUND. Now, before I go any further, if you've not joined us before and you enjoy what you see, please be so kind to give us a like, consider subscribing, and share, and all that kind of good stuff. So, the HELLHOUND. The HELLHOUND is a really cool minor creature, okay? They're not that powerful, and they have just kind of a one-trick pony, but they are evil, and they are not small. They're as large as a man. And although some can be larger than that. But large or small, they have a 4 armor class. You typically find them in groups of like 2 to 8. Which is a group of these could be a very fun encounter for relatively low level characters. And they have 4 to 7 hit dice. Okay, that's where your determination on size may change a bit. Hellhound, at least in my view, should be at least man-sized. They can be a bit bigger than that, but not hugely so. They would never classify as, say, a large creature. They're always going to be smaller. So the Hellhound is a very fierce-looking creature. I mean, if you go by the book, it's not really all black. It's supposed to be like a dark reddish brown, almost like the color of blood, which is kind of cool too. But they do have black fangs and a black tongue, and they're very intimidating. And of course, they have a nasty bite, but they have one other thing, and that's the ability to spit fire. Now, they can't spit it very far. It's only like 30 feet, and they only do damage if they're successful in hitting, equal to their hit dice. So, once again, this could be a 4, 5, 6, or 7 hit dice creature. So, in other words, if you're rolling for wanderings, you would roll a 4-sided die, and it would be either 4, 5, 6, or 7 hit dice creature based on a 1, 2, 3, or 4 on a 4-sided die. So, they're a pretty cool little creature, though. They don't do a ton of damage with their actual bite, but it's still 1 to 10 points of damage. And that doesn't stink. Obviously, their ability to hit is influenced by the number of hit dice that they have. And a higher hit dice version of this creature is going to be more effective on attack than a lower hit dice one. Wow, go figure. That's amazing. Now, hellhounds are frequently seen in Dungeons and Dragons adventures of one kind or another, whether they're purchased adventures or homebrew or anything like that. They're a very common and popular creature. I don't think there's too many characters out there who haven't run into these before. They're also popular if you like doing giant scenarios, if you have a fire giant. These are typically the extra guardians that a fire giant might have in its lair. And they only get the biggest, most primo ones. So that's kind of cool right there. But once again, these are frequently used as guardians. They have a low intelligence. They are, I'm sure they're being compared to a dog or maybe a not so smart dog. And they're used for guardians by a number of different lawful evil creatures. Because once again, this is lawful evil. Now, they don't have any specific magic resistance. They don't have any specific motive ability that, like flying or anything like that. However, really hard to surprise, and they have an excellent chance of seeing hidden or invisible creatures. It's like a 50% chance, which is pretty impressive right there. One of the reasons, once again, why they are popular with other lawful, evil, more powerful creatures to use as guardians for their fortress or defense or whatever it may be. And really, that surprise ability is kind of nice. It's on a 6-sided die, they surprise on 1 to 4, and they can only be surprised on a 1 on a 6-sided die roll. Now, like I said, these creatures are kind of supposed to have a reddish brown, red, dull to black type coat, and while that is very distinctive, along with their black teeth and fangs and their black tongue, probably the most distinctive part of their look is they have glowing red eyes. So if you see really big dogs with glowing red eyes, a pretty good chance that if they're not an illusion, that they're going to be a hellhound. So with all these abilities to surprise creatures and stealthily observe them and things like this, being such ideal guardians, that's certainly one of the main reasons why you run across these so often in scenarios. They're often set up as guardians. And of course, us dwarves, how often do we run across hellhounds? It does happen. These are not, they're uncommon creatures and somewhat rare, but they're not as rare as other types of nasty, evil creatures out there. And especially if you're a dwarf and you go somewhere you're not supposed to, underground, and you find a underground tomb or someplace where the baddies hang out, and you might run into hellhounds. And certainly over the course of time, us dwarves have definitely had our interactions with hellhounds. Fortunately, also, we've seemed to have come out on top in most of those encounters, unless we were totally surprised. But of course, in the gaming world, these things are as common as common can be. As grains of sand on the beach, they're all over the place. And like I said, there's going to be very few people who haven't run into these at one point or another. And going out to the greater Hornhelm community, this was certainly confirmed. When I asked them about how would you rank the Hellhound, everybody had a story to tell. Coming back from the DM side, they said they're a lot of fun, but really not that powerful. And they tended to rank it around a 4. Going to the players, not much different. They said, yeah, 4, maybe 4.5. But a rollicking good time was had by all whenever they had the opportunity to get into a little bit of a tussle with these creatures. So, not bad. I can't say I really disagree with any of that. These are a fun creature. I've used them in abundance. They've also died in job lots and encounters because everybody seems to want to kill these lawful evil beasties. And them being lawful evil beasties, if everybody else is not, makes perfect sense to me. So that, my friends, is the Hellhound. We hope you enjoyed today's presentation. If you did, please be so kind as to leave us a like. Consider subscribing if you haven't. Share with your friends. Leave us a comment. But by all means, come back and see us again real soon. We very much appreciate your kind support. Take care, everyone. And remember, dwarves rock!